I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati Rick in Detroit, convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude, strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game, Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes, Craig Pettis in the M-Town, Sal Magluta with the boat game, Falcone with the cocaine, like Freeway Ricky with the plug game, like Monster Cody in South Central, Larry Davis from close range.
New information from City Police on the ambush of 19-year Department veteran Sergeant Keith McNeil. Within the hour, Police Commissioner Anthony Batts wrapped up a press conference. 11 News I-Team reporter David Collins was there. He is live at City Police headquarters with the late-breaking details. David?
Well, Commissioner Batts believes the suspect, Gregg Thomas, is still in the area, and the commissioner has a strong message for him.
And that's what I'm calling him. Gregg Thomas is a coward. In early 2000, he took a human life. He went to prison for an amount of time. He got out early. He ambushed my officer. Gregg Thomas is a coward. Gregg Thomas, for the Baltimore Police Department, is public enemy number one. We're going to track him down. What I have to say to him, and I say to him very specifically, is that it may be better that you turn yourself in. Whether you need to contact your attorney, contact a news reporter, turn yourself in to a local police department or police station right away. We're not going to stop. We're not going to back off.
So far, police have served 6 warrants looking for Thomas. Investigators believe he is responsible for shooting City Police Sergeant Keith McNeil numerous times Friday night. As McNeil sat in his SUV in civilian clothes, police say he was running errands. Commissioner Batts made the point, but would not elaborate, that Thomas's brother Lamont was busted Wednesday for drug running. Commissioner Batts questions how his mom, who lives in public housing, managed to bail him out. Batts told reporters Lamont Thomas's drug case is not related to the shooting of the sergeant. The commissioner wants the public to know that if anyone assists Gregg Thomas, they'll meet the full weight of the law as well. Now, Sergeant McNeil remains in critical condition. The commissioner said he got a thumbs up when he visited McNeil last night and talked with him about giving him some chocolate chip cookies, the sergeant's favorite, when he gets out of the hospital. Reporting live from Bishop Robinson Police Headquarters downtown, David Collins, WBAL TV 11.
Last week, the man Baltimore police say shot and nearly killed a city sergeant was indicted on federal drug and gun charges. Gregg Thomas, along with his brother and 2 others, will now make their way through the federal court system.
But police have not released a motive as to how any of it is related to the shooting of Sergeant Keith McNeil. Shooting sources confirmed for the InFocus team was because McNeil happened to be in that wrong place at the worst time.
Sergeant Keith McNeil was shot nearly a dozen times while sitting in his truck last March near an auto body shop in northeast Baltimore. The gunfire so rapid, so exact, that amount of ammo only made half as many holes in the driver's side window. A vicious attack that to police seemed as personal as it was confusing.
We don't know the motive. I don't know why you will walk up to someone in a car and shoot them multiple times. All I can say is that I do thank God that my officer is still alive. I do thank God that his family will not be without a husband or a dad. And at this point in time, we'll figure out the motive.
Police were able to arrest and charge Gregg Thomas. The 34-year-old turned himself in after Baltimore police very publicly called him out as enemy number one. But to find the motive police believe is behind Thomas emptying his weapon on the sergeant, you have to go back 3 days before the shooting. It was March 11th when Gregg Thomas's brother Lamont and Tyrone Bailey were traveling southbound on 95 when they were stopped for going 9 miles an hour over the speed limit. The pair said they were on their way back from Atlantic City when they were pulled over in their Ford F-150 right at mile marker 99 in Cecil County. According to court documents there, the trooper who made the stop smelled drugs and searched the vehicle coming across, quote, an aftermarket electronically controlled false compartment. When opened, the trooper found almost 9.5 pounds of cocaine worth about $425,000. But it may have been that traffic stop and bust that set off Gregg Thomas. Sources say Thomas was convinced troopers were tipped off about the compartment, making it easy for them to find the almost $500,000 of product. The working theory for police is Thomas was looking to approach the shop and owner he thought did the job on Bel Air Road. Sergeant McNeil, detectives believe, was either mistaken for that man Thomas was supposedly looking for or unwittingly provoked Thomas by telling him to leave the business. But sources say Thomas's suspected drug operation had already been under electronic surveillance by a Baltimore police task force. Pulling the trigger on their developing case, officers cracked down on the rest of Thomas's suspected drug ring a month after the shooting. The InFocus team was granted exclusive access for the raids that, in the early morning hours of April 16th, simultaneously hit several homes in East and Northeast Baltimore. It is unclear how many of the targets were picked up that morning. But while the state charges against Gregg Thomas for the attempted murder of Sergeant Keith McNeil continue on Calvert Street, the federal government indicted him, his brother Lamont, Tyrone Bailey, and one other. Unsealed Friday, the indictment links the four suspects to charges of a conspiracy to distribute and possess cocaine and the possession of illegal firearms.
Now, Thomas pleaded not guilty to his charges surrounding the shooting of Sergeant McNeil. According to court records, Thomas is currently set to stand trial in circuit court later this summer. Meanwhile, Keith McNeil has since been discharged by shock trauma and is currently undergoing rehabilitation.
A Baltimore judge on Monday sentenced Gregg Thomas to the maximum sentence of life plus 35 years behind bars for the 2014 shooting of Sergeant Keith McNeil, concluding a years-long court battle that included 4 trials. Thomas, 37, had pleaded not guilty but was convicted by a jury of attempted first-degree murder and 2 gun charges in February after 3 mistrials in the case. McNeil was shot 8 times outside of the automotive shop in the Berea neighborhood of East Baltimore in March 2014. Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn J. Mosby and Police Commissioner Kevin Davis both attended the sentencing hearing and hugged McNeil afterward. McNeil, who is still recovering from his injuries and wore a brace on one hand, declined to comment. His wife, Danielle McNeil, said she was glad Thomas will not be walking the streets of Baltimore inflicting undue pain on another family. Thomas declined to make any comments to the court during the hearing and was walked away in chains at its conclusion. Circuit Judge Julie Rubin called Thomas's actions heinous. Assistant State's Attorney Tracy Robinson called Thomas an acute danger to the community, noting he was previously convicted of second-degree murder in the 2003 killing of 17-year-old Davon Lindsay and had only been out of prison for about 15 months at the time of McNeil's shooting. Mosby and Davis praised the sentence. Mosby said any attempted cop killer will be dealt with accordingly.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to Murderland with it. Bodymore. All my niggas from B-More, y'all niggas get in the comment box. Y'all know what it is. Matter of fact, the whole Maryland. Y'all niggas lock in. Y'all know we spin the block like we live around the corner. Now, today, we gonna be covering a guy by the name of Gregg Thomas. Or should we call him Shooter? Should we call him Bad Man? Well, I don't even really know what to call it. But I'm going to call that shit sinister. So, just a kind of overall breakdown. I'm not even going to like really go down the rundown because y'all seen that shit. That shit just lays out like that. I just want to point out a few facts and see what y'all think about it. So the first thing that really jumped out to me with this episode was the fact that at the time when he shot the officer at the auto body shop, he had only been released from prison for 15 months after serving a 10-year sentence for second-degree murder. And based on my research in that case, I saw where he murdered a 17-year-old and police ended up arresting him along with 3 other suspects in 3 separate murders that were unrelated to his. But he was the main guy or the first person that they spoke about in this article, and they said that they apprehended him in the alley for that murder. So he pleaded on the second degree. He got out in 10 years, and like I said, 15 months after him being released, he found himself in an auto body shop, ready to off a auto body worker for, I guess, from what he deemed making his illegal trap compartment too easy to find. So that's just wicked in itself. But that's just one thing that stood out. The second thing that stood out is his brother and the other guy that was indicted in his drug case. One, they were speeding while they was driving a load. That's a negative. Two, they obviously was smoking or was in a vehicle that somebody smoked in prior. But who knows? Sometimes, man, I don't know about y'all, but around here, man, cops damn sure quick to hit you with that. I smell something up in the car, man. I need y'all to get out. We're going to put a search on y'all. So it could have been one of those situations, but you damn sure shouldn't have been speeding to even get caught up in that situation. So that's the second thing that stand out. The third thing is probably the kicker to all of this shit. So the police officer ended up being shot because he was at the auto body shop looking to get work done on his vehicle. He spoke to Mr. Thomas because Mr. Thomas had allegedly, let me start the whole breakdown from my research. So the officer was at the body shop looking to get work. He left the body shop to go to an ATM, possibly to pick up money to pay for the work that's going to be done on his vehicle. After arriving back at the body shop, he witnesses Gregg Thomas acting suspicious outside of the body shop, which causes him to identify himself as an off-duty police officer to Mr. Thomas and asks what's his reasoning for being at the business. Now, Mr. Thomas, acting suspicious outside of the business, being a felon with the prior 10-year bid that we did, got the thing on him, automatically go into panic mode, I'm sure. Not to mention he just lost a huge amount of drugs and what he deemed was, I guess, some kind of setup with the auto body shop. So he's what situation, like, what y'all doing in that situation? I need to know, because that just made me just think about it. I'm froze. I'm running. Yeah, who knows, man? Play it smooth, cool as a cucumber, man. Trying to get some work done. So, but that's all of that is still that's just ironic that these set of circumstances are into play. But the luckiest person in this whole episode or this whole saga or this whole tragedy is going to be that auto body shop mechanic. Because what's the likelihood of you having an appointment with a cop on the same day where this guy is apparently coming to kill you? Second off, because if it wasn't a cop and it was any normal civilian, he's damn sure not going to go out of his way to ask somebody why they're acting suspicious outside the body shop. He's probably going to go find another body shop, which leads to Mr. Thomas shooting the auto mechanic as he planned. So if he don't wake up thinking his lucky stars, moons, earths, and suns, he out his cotton picking mind. Now, y'all get in the comment box and let me know if this is what is this? I'm confused. This shit is it a tragedy? Is it just a set of bad circumstances? Is it just ironic? But y'all know what it is. Y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. It's your boy POP_A_LOT. We gonna be back with some more real trill spill shit. It's the Mobb. Mobb. Ties.